It's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the number one business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we're on a mission. And our mission really is to empower. Our mission is to inspire. And our mission is to provide you, the entrepreneur, with all of the resources that are necessary to execute that big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And on this episode, we have the one and only Angeline Moore, who's in the building. What's going on, Angeline? How are you?
I am great. How are you? I'm so excited to be here. Thank you.
I'm excited to have you here. Thank you so much. I'm excited to have you here. I couldn't wait. I know we'll be talking today about faith forward business. Okay. But for the audience that's listening, that's hearing faith forward business for the very first time, take a moment and just talk about why is it important now more than ever to have this conversation where you can be in business, you can maintain your moral values or whatever your beliefs are, and you can still serve your clients.
Yes, it's so important because without it, there gets misalignment with what you're doing. And I have found as an entrepreneur, it's really hard sometimes to blend it. When I first started off, I tried to do it this way and that way, and it never really worked until I paused and I prayed and I really found that download of being more faith forward in my business and keeping God as my CEO and knowing that I need to go to him through making the plans and then deciding instead of it being just a good plan in my business, but a God plan in my business. So that's kind of helped open the doors more of opportunity, align me with the right people instead of the wrong ones, and make better business decisions. So it's so important nowadays because without that, while you may meet success without it, eventually you find some roadblocks in it, and it gets tough because as an entrepreneur, it's never an easy journey, right? You have a lot of obstacles that come up and challenges and even mind blocks that sometimes happen. So having that faith to me has helped continue to really help me get my sparkle more in my business. So
And how do you feel now that you've embraced this? That you've embraced who you are? Sometimes in business, some folks try to hide behind a facade, and the person that you see as the business owner is not really how the person is. How does it feel to be free and be able to be who you are, no matter who you are around?
Honestly, that the imposter syndrome goes away because I don't have to feel like I'm trying to be something else that I'm not. And I know that I am shining more as how he has made me to be. And when I have him lead me and the Holy Spirit lead me in my words and know that I trust him and what I'm doing and what I'm walking and what I'm saying, it's such an easy flow. It makes it so simple. And when I start hitting those roadblocks where I'm getting a little frustrated or it feels a little not in alignment, that's when the pause and pray helps me so much. And I have to remember that I have to continue to give it to him, and he'll make it come through, because otherwise I felt like when I didn't and I was trying to separate it, or I was trying to be who I wasn't just because this expert or that's me told me to follow this plan instead, it really made me not hit the goals in business where I needed to be. And then I felt just out of integrity of it. So, which made me feel blah. And then wanting to more quit,
Yeah, sure. And as that leads us to a little bit about what you do for a moment, because you help entrepreneurs really make sure that operations is in line. I would call you a virtual operations, a virtual CEO, right? As virtual chief operating officer is what I would probably say. But here's the question: why do entrepreneurs today struggle, from your perspective, on just getting the operations together, making sure the systems are supporting the business at a time where there's Instagram, there's YouTube, there's so much stuff online, yet they still struggle? Why?
I was there. So the reason why I started the Kingdom Sparkle Agency, which is a one-stop shop solutions to simplify and streamline your business operations on the back end, is because when I was working on my business, I was getting so frustrated and this system and learning this funnel and building this website over here. And now I have to do social media marketing and social planner and go over here and email marketing and automations. And it was giving me such a headache because there's so many things out there. So when I found a way to offer a service to simplify it and streamline it into one platform, I was like, this is brilliant. Why isn't everyone doing it? I was doing it for myself, and then I was able to find that I could white label and make my own brand in it and bring my own faith forward business within the agency as well. And that's where I was really, really excited to offer a service to business owners that can get caught up in the chaos of technology, because I know it doesn't come easy to all, but it comes easy to me. And that was a kind of a godsend and a God instance to really tap into that gift that I know that I can help navigate and be that director of the virtual space for business owners that don't know how to do it or get frustrated with it. Yeah.
I love it. And we're going to talk to two types of individuals. First, let's talk to the group of folks who are like, whoa, how did she shift her mindset? Like, what would she say to me who really, I say tech ain't my thing, but I need to do it. I'm not in a position yet to hire someone and I just got to do it. I've got to make it work. It's on me. What's one or two or three things that Angeline can tell me to do? We'll talk to them first. And then we'll come back and talk about the folks that are like, look, I just want to be able just to push this out to someone else. We'll talk about that. But first, to the person, what would you say they should have in terms of a mindset? And then number two, what's step one or two that they can do to take a baby step because they got to do it themselves?
So when it comes to that, you have to really this is where I feel prayer and keeping in your faith is so important, and knowing that the importance of learning is great and embracing that journey of, okay, giving yourself a little grace of maybe not knowing this, but let me take some bite-sized pieces of learning a new technology. There's so many tools out there now that can help with AI, and there's ways that you can learn. Google University and YouTube University to find the small piece of, all right, here's a new system that I may not understand, but I have to do it myself. But then also partnering yourself with a team that can guide you through those trainings and all the things that you may not understand well, but you can pick up on because they're there to guide you. And that's what I like to offer in KSA, is that guidance still to help you facilitate through it until you get comfortable of doing it yourself. So it's all about finding the right tools and systems and people that align with you to get through the unknown.
Right. And when you said KSA as an acronym, you lost a bunch of folks. They say, Shay, what in the LL Cool J is KSA? So can we slow down for a moment? Can you tell them what is KSA? What is the mission, goals, and objectives of KSA?
Agency. Yeah, Kingdom Sparkle Agency, better known to me as and my clients as KSA, as I like to call it for short, because Kingdom Sparkle Agency can be kind of a mouthful. So I apologize. Thanks for that question, Shay.
and what is the mission of KSA, Kingdom Sparkle Agency?
My goal is to really, it's going to be more than a systems. Right now, the systems to me is a foundation. And my vision and mission and what I've been called to is to help activate, align, and amplify your God-given sparkle into his kingdom. And that's kind of where Kingdom Sparkle was really resonated in my soul, and why I called my Kingdom Sparkle Agency the name that it is today, because I feel everyone's given their own gifts, their own light, their own sparkle, and I'm here to help navigate them to find it, align with it, and then amplify it with the right tools and systems, whether it's the business systems or even your internal heart set systems, to get to where God's given you your gifts and empowerment, so you can focus on sharing your own sparkle to the world.
Yeah, I like it. And now if we're listening, we're thinking, whoa, this is great. There's another group of folks out there. We haven't forgot you. They're like, I just want to outsource it. So can she please, Shay, share maybe one or maybe two or three things that I can look for when I'm interviewing? Now, I can work with KSA, and that's that. I'm encourage y'all to do that. But, you know, it's because she's been on the other side, she maybe give you some guidance and say, look for one or two or three things, or ask these questions when you're interviewing and trying to find the right firm that works for
Yes.
you, what would you say to that person? How can you best help them? Give them
That
some advice,
person that
please.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So there are so many tools and that are out there. There are ones that will give you done for you services. With the Kingdom Sparkle Agency, we do offer a guidance to give you a little bit of taste of done for you, and then we educate you to elevate you further. But if you're like, I don't even want to learn any of that, that's okay. There are so many tools like Upwork or I believe, I can't remember the other one. I like using Upwork to find people that can help guide you or do it for you in the system, and they know the system already, and then they can just plug and play all the things to do what you need to do in this in there. When it comes to finding other systems or agencies that work well, you can see if they have a built-in things where it's included in their price and their offers. And there's so many out there that do that, which is amazing because they already have a team that can do it for you as well. So absolutely asking those things of what best fits you and your business and what is key to that. So
You've took off and you've shared a lot so far, and they might be wondering, who is this person, Shay? I can read her bio. Somebody hadn't read your bio. So other people have read your bio. They've already Googled you. They looked you up before they showed up. And others are like, Shay, what's her backstory? What was the turning point? What was that defining moment that she said, I'm all in on business? Take a moment, if you would, and then we'll slow down. Then we'll speed back up. But tell me a little about your backstory. How did you get started? What was that one moment you knew in your heart of hearts that this was for you?
Honestly, I've been in an entrepreneur journey for a long time. I've been, when I first tapped into it, it was network marketing. If you remember the company Cutco Knives, straight out of college, I started doing Cutco knives. And then I just kind of started dabbling into the network marketing industry. I was doing 31 bags, which is the 31 women, and they were selling bags. I'm like, this is me. And it never really aligned though, because I just kind of got in it because I like the stuff, right? And so I became known to the industry as a kidnapper, and I would just like join this and that. But when it came to the Kingdom Sparkle Agency, I was part of a community. So community is huge, and being surrounded by the right people, doing the things that you want to do and have done the things that you want to be done is so important, because I was part of this community called the Mom Link, and I'm still part of it. And they're women supporting women in business. And when I was part of the chapter, one of my leaders, Christina Howard, who's also in Breakfast with Champions, she really tapped into this gift. And she was like, Angeline, you are already doing for our group these virtual events, these funnels, these automations for this event. How much do I pay you for it? And I'm like, what? And she's like, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you offering this as a business when this is your zone of what you need to work? So that was all God, and finding the right opportunity and people in it to really bring out my sparkle, because, I've done the certifications, I've done the self-development stuff, I've become certified in a life coach transformation, I've done laughter yoga leader because I love laughter yoga, and I've done the work internally, but trying to find that right alignment finally was really a God instance of finding in me just serving a business that blossomed through that, and people recognizing what my true sparkle was, instead of being so like here and there and trying what others were doing. Instead, I needed to offer what really worked for me. So it was
The
cool.
word
Community.
sparkle.
Yes.
I love it. When I first saw it, I was like, man, that's brilliant. I didn't realize you created the name. It sounds like something that some marketing gurus and somewhere in a tower would have done. And it does represent you and who you are. But that is super cool. We have a segment here that's very important, which is called Today is My January 1st. And as folks are listening, sometimes I'm always curious and saying, wow, you've done so much, you've accomplished a lot. And they think that, this woman got it all going on, Shay. She ain't never had no problems. So what does she know about struggle? What does she know about failure? And so I like to have this segment. We call it Today is My January 1st. And Today is My January 1st is one of our personal mantras. Now, I know for those that are tuning in, and you're here every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can go ahead and say those words now. Today is my January 1st. Doesn't that feel good? It feels so good. And for others out there that are joining us for the very first time, welcome to the family. Today is my January 1st represents a fresh start. That's our belief. It represents a do-over. That's our belief. It means our past. No matter what the past is, it doesn't necessarily represent the future. And so my question to Angeline while she's over there is that when you hear those words, today is my January 1st, what do you hear? And what was a time that you had a setback in your life and you had to come back from it?
Such an excellent question. When I was in my valley, it was my faith. And this is why it resonates with me so much, the faith forward, because even with my mustard seed of faith, and I've always had it, I almost questioned God. I'm like, you were putting me through the ringer, Lord. Are you even there? Do you even hear me? And I was like, I don't even know if I believe in you. I was to that lowest point in my life. And I talk about it in my book, Voices of the 21st Century. I'm a co-author, Women Transforming the World. It was reading this chapter and sharing a dark point in my valley and finding my way to the Faith Forward Summit and God pulling me out of that. It was all on the pause and the prayer. It took him to really cause me to stop and listen instead of hearing all the noise around me. It was 18 months after the pandemic started that I was forced into complete silence. And I'm a go, go, go. I'm a mom of 3 boys. I'm a wife. I have a, 9 to 5. I have a business that I'm trying to run. I'm doing all these things and part of all these communities. And COVID hit me. And it wasn't just COVID. I got double pneumonia in my lungs and I was put in the hospital for over a week. And I had to take leave of absence for over a month. And I was literally could hardly breathe. I could hardly laugh. I could hardly move. I couldn't even be there for my family because I was just putting so much in and I wasn't pausing. I wasn't listening. And in that valley when I was just like, what is happening to me? And then I had a miscarriage and then I spiraled into depression. I'm like, why did you bring this joy to me when I have this faith that it was going to happen? And I had it before, but for whatever reason, this time around, because I was starting to reach for more, I was pulled down into the darkest depths of my valley. And the only thing that I even stopped going live. I stopped going into my communities. And what I did though, was I asked my community of prayer warriors, I'm like, y'all need to pray for me because I don't even know if I can get through this right now. And that prayer for them and me being paused to pray for myself helped me find the light back and help me see that my sparkle was still there. And I really needed to trust him instead of trusting all the ways that I was trying to go towards and the different paths I was going in. So, yeah.
Wow.
So my January 1st, yeah, it was tough, but my January 1st really was when I said, okay, God, I hear you. It's yours. I lay it at your feet. Let's go. Where do you need me to serve? And let's faith forward through it. So,
and here you are now changing the world, serving as the operations behind a number of businesses that are out there today. Yes. Making sure they have everything that they need. And while you're talking, there's this book. I mean, we can't miss it, by the way. We can't miss it. It says Voices of the 21st Century. It's properly there in the screen. And now everybody's like, Shay, what's the book about? Shay, can she talk to it? So take a moment and let's highlight this book you have here.
Yeah, so Voices of the 21st Century, I'm part of Women's Speakers Association, and they asked me to be an author in this book. And I had the privilege of being with 45 other women to share our stories, and it's Women Transforming the World. And I was now it's an international #1 bestseller. And so I can actually say that now. I never thought I would be an author. I never thought I would share any part of my story. And now I have a chapter in a #1 bestseller, international bestseller. And I was just like, look at God move, because I I was always told, my mom always told me, you're like, Angeline, your name, you know, it means messenger of God, right? And I'm like, what does that even mean? Like, why would you say that to me? That felt like so much pressure. And I always ran away from it. And it wasn't until I really leaned in and listened and continued to be more loud about it, that it really aligned for me. And here I am.
I love it. And that's so important. And one of my questions, you talked about your mom, that I love to ask is, and it's so important, which is, what's one of the best pieces of advice that you've ever been given? And I like to frame the question around that you've had so many mentors, I believe, on this journey of life, right? Success is a team sport. Very few of us, if anybody, can do it by themselves. But when you look back, what was one piece of advice, if you say, you know what, if I had to pay this forward, and you could share it with the audience, and the audience could use it, that you keep near and dear to you, what's one piece of advice you've been given that you want to pass on to us?
I would definitely say that to just remember that negativity can only impact you if you let it. So you need to vibrate higher. And just remember, my mom has said this to me, and it's both of our favorite Bible verse, Romans 8:28. It's all for the good. For those who serve him. And I'm totally butchering the verse, but that is one thing that I have to always remember, regardless of what I'm going through, whether I'm in my mountaintop or in my valley, it's all for the good. And I have to center myself and know that, to find gratitude in it, and whatever challenge it is, even if I have to embrace the suck and be like, all right, God, what is the lesson that you want me to learn in this valley, in this dark time now, for your good, and to remind me of that. So yeah, and just continue to faith forward in all things that you're doing.
Wow, that's so powerful. It sounds like you're having a lot of fun. Am I hearing you having a lot of fun?
I am. I was super nervous about this, Shay, but this is so much fun. You're a great interviewer, by the way.
Oh, well, thanks. They haven't fired me yet. Thanks for letting me know that, by the way. It's good to know I have not been fired, that I still have a job. And that's being here with you right now.
You're amazing. This has been really fun.
Well, I'm blessed. I like to do cool things with cool people, and you're a cool person. Take a moment as we come down the home stretch. I wish we had more time, but as we come down the home stretch, and please share with the audience, what type of clients do you work with, if you're taking on any new clients right now? And number two, how can folks best connect with you?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yes, I am. If you are looking for a way to simplify, streamline, and increase your productivity so you can save costs, definitely connect with me. You can go to, the simplest way to connect me is go to angelinemoore.com. That's angelinemoore.com. You'll see all my links on there. I call it my sparkle tree because it gives me my own domain brand that I can share my voice and all the things that's coming up, all the events that I'm working with. And then you can connect through the Kingdom Sparkle Agency and start streamlining and simplifying your business through that. So angelinemoore.com is how you can find me.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, let me first say, keep encouraging, keep changing the world, keep making a difference. Thank you so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Shay. This is such a privilege and an honor. I'm humbled.
And thanks, Megan, for connecting us. Megan put us together, which is really, really cool.
Megan she's amazing.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, she used to be on the other side of the camera. Now she's in the front of the camera. And is she rocking a what? Is she rocking a what? She turned this thing out, which is really amazing. Thank you so much. And thank you to viewers. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being part of the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Without you, there is no show. And I never get tired every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time of sharing this. I never get tired. I never get tired. But I want you to know, if you haven't heard today, that you're awesome, that you're truly amazing, that you've got so much greatness inside you, and that for you, today is your January 1st. And because of just that one idea alone, I believe for you, your best is still yet to come. Your best is yet to come. Your better days are still ahead of you. With that being said, my name, in case you forgot, is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. And I promise you, from the bottom of my heart, we'll make some good things out. We connect again next time. God bless. I wish you success. Bye-bye, Hannah. Thanks a lot.
Thank
Peace.
you,
We out.
Jen.